teams in Cuba, Honduras, Colombia, and Mexico. We are on a 3-week tour. It's been a real privilege and honor to have Carol and Gilberto here in the Midwest with us. We started in Chicago and we went through Wisconsin and Minnesota and Iowa, and we're here in Missouri today. This is the beginning of our 3rd-week tour, and so we're happy to be here with you. Since 2000, we've had an international team in Colombia with the implementation of the U.S.-sponsored Planned Colombia Large Military Package that went into effect and really seen an increase in militarization on the ground with grassroots organizations, some of our partners on the ground telling us that they've seen an increase in human rights violations and abuses. And so part of Gilberto's job and other international team members is to document those human rights abuses. I will let Gilberto talk more about his work there, and we'll let Carol introduce herself in a traditional popular education fashion. I did want to point out that we do have a delegation going to Colombia in January, and we're going to meet directly with Carol and Lored, the Feminist Anti-Militaristic Network, on that delegation. So if you want to know more information about the policy actions or delegations that we have going on, please come up and see us after. So I'll pass it over to Gilberto.
Hi. So my name is Gilberto, and I'm currently working with Witness for Peace. I'm based in Bogota. I've been in Bogota now for about 1 year and 9 months. And basically I do kind of similar work to what Witness for Peace does here in the States. We do basically 3 things. We do education, advocacy, and accompaniment. But the work that I do is the piece that we can only do from Latin America. So when delegations come down, which Liz is involved in organizing from here, and Liz is involved in doing grassroots kind of organizing here, we receive delegations that come and we connect them with human rights organizations and social movements, and we try to use the delegation as an opportunity for them to learn about what's going on firsthand on the ground in Colombia. So they'll learn directly from human rights defenders about human rights violations or instances where U.S. intervention has played a harmful role in people's lives. We also do advocacy, and a delegation is a great example of how we do advocacy, because we end every delegation with a meeting at the State Department, and we basically meet with the U.S. Embassy and let U.S. Embassy officials know about human rights violations that we hear about from people on the ground. We also produce urgent actions regarding human rights violations or urgent situations where people's lives are in danger. We also do accompaniment. And so a delegation can be a great opportunity to actually raise the visibility of a human rights defender that's threatened, or of a social movement that needs more attention internationally. So we use delegations to also do a little bit of accompaniment as well. So anyways, that's a little bit about my work. And I really hope that you reach out to us if you're interested in this kind of work. For us, the Speakers Tour is an opportunity to educate all of you about what's going on in Colombia and in Latin America. But I hope it's also an opportunity for you all to learn about our work, and for you to give some consideration to getting involved as an intern here in the Midwest, or consider joining our team at some point in the future. Definitely ask us questions if that's something that you're interested in, because we definitely are always looking for people who are interested in this work. So, as part of this work, we build relationships with human rights organizations on the ground, and one of those organizations that's been a real honor for us as Witness to work with has been the Red Feminista Antimilitarista. So I'm just going to pass it over to Caro so she can introduce herself.
Buenas noches.
Good evening.
Buenas noches.
Can we hear?
Buenas noches. No se escucha mucho. Hola, hola. Bueno, hablamos con este. Hablamos con este.
Yeah.
¿Sí?
Okay.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Carol Rojas.
Good evening. My name is Caro Rojas.
Soy de Colombia, de una ciudad que se llama Medellín.
I'm from Colombia, from a city called Medellin,
Y pertenezco a una organización que se llama la Red Feminista Antimilitarista.
and I belong to an organization called the Feminist Anti-Militarist Network.
La Red Feminista Antimilitarista realiza trabajo de educación popular en los barrios populares de la ciudad de Medellín.
The Feminist Anti-Militarist Network does popular education work in the low-income and marginalized neighborhoods of Medellin, otherwise referred to as popular neighborhoods.
Nosotras intentamos realizar tres cosas. A una de ellas la llamamos desmilitarizar.
So we try to do three things. One of those things is demilitarization.
¿Han escuchado algo sobre la militarización o desmilitarización?
Have you all heard anything about militarization or demilitarization? Anybody who wants to offer anything or has anything to say?
Well, all I really know about what's going on in Colombia right now is what's happening with FARC.
Bien, ¿alguien más? El concepto militarización.
Anyone else, the concept of militarization?
What militarization is, or just what's going on down there?
Lo que la militarización es.
What militarization is?
From what I know, militarization is like when the government is basically controlling everything through the military and violence.
We have to move around a lot. It's better, it's more fun.
Bueno, la militarización, esto no está aprendido. Hola, hola, soy yo.
Saying it's hard, but we don't know if it's on. Maybe it died on us. It looked like it might have died. Okay. Wow. I can't. No. You're. Hello.
¿Me escuchan?
Yeah.
¿Escuchan atrás?
Can you hear us?
Bueno,
Okay. I will project.
la militarización. La militarización se hace evidente de muchas maneras.
Militarization manifests itself in different ways.
Una de ellas es la presencia del ejército o de la policía.
One of those is the presence of the army or of the police.
Pero también la militarización muestra en las sociedades también formas muy cotidianas.
But however, the militarization also manifests itself in in daily kind of practices.
¿Sí? Una de ellas es, por ejemplo, cómo las sociedades o los grupos resuelven sus problemas.
One of those ways is the ways in which people resolve problems on a daily basis.
¿Sí? ¿Cuáles son los proyectos de vida de las personas jóvenes, niños y niñas?
What are the life projects of youth and boys and girls?
¿Y cuál es su relación con las lógicas de la guerra?
And what is their relationship with the logic of war?
La militarización nosotras la evidenciamos en Medellín por medio de muchas cosas. Una de ellas son los proyectos de vida de los jóvenes.
Hello? No, we lost it. Okay. I'm just gonna. It's okay, don't worry about it, I think.
Sí.
Yo. Quiero agua. ¿Puedes repetirlo otra vez? Para que quede.
De la militarización nosotros la evidenciamos en los proyectos de vida que tienen algunos jóvenes.
Militarization is also manifested in some of the life projects that youth have.
Sí, donde encontramos que algunos de los jóvenes quieren hacer parte de los grupos armados mafiosos,
Where we find that some of the youth want to be a part of the armed mafioso groups.
¿sí? Que da cuenta del grado de militarización de la sociedad antioqueña.
That shows the level of militarization of the Antiochian society.
¿sí? Por eso hablamos de la necesidad de desmilitarizar.
And that's why we talk about the need to demilitarize.
¿sí? De la par también hablamos de la necesidad de despatriarcalizar.
The second thing that we talk about is the need to undo patriarchy.
Como me imagino que ustedes saben, el patriarcado es un sistema que existe en todo el mundo.
And as I'm sure that all of you know, patriarchy is a system that exists in the whole world.
¿sí? Y es el que organiza la sociedad de acuerdo con el poder de los hombres sobre las mujeres.
And it organizes power so that men have power over women.
¿sí? Ese poder está jerarquizado,
And that power is a hierarchy
donde las mujeres son más vulnerables si son pobres, si son indígenas o si son negras.
where women are more vulnerable if they are poor, indigenous, or Afro-descendant.
Eso, sumado a la militarización, pone en grave peligro la vida de las mujeres.
That, together with militarization, puts women's lives at in grave danger.
Por eso hablamos de la necesidad de despatriarcalizar.
And that's why we talk about the need to undo patriarchy.
¿sí? La tercera cosa que intentamos hacer se llama democratizar.
The third thing that we talk about, that we do, is to democratize.
Democratizar significa cómo crear subjetividades políticas.
Democratize talks about how do we create political subjects
Que participen activamente en la transición de Colombia en una apertura democrática.
that actively participate in politics in Colombia, working towards a democratic opening.
¿sí? Como no les había dicho, en Colombia hemos vivido por más de 60 años en guerra.
As I may have said, Colombia has been living in a civil war for over 60 years.
Y el año pasado se firmó un acuerdo de paz entre el Estado y una de las guerrillas de mi país.
Last year, a peace agreement was signed between the state and one of the guerrillas in my country.
Es en el contexto de ese acuerdo que nosotras pensamos la apertura democrática.
And it's in the context of that peace accord that we think about the democratic opening.
¿sí? Pero ahorita les hablaré más sobre el acuerdo.
But right now, in the future, I'll talk to you a little bit more about the peace accord.
¿sí? Yo hago educación popular
I do popular education
con jóvenes y mujeres adultas.
with youth and adult women.
¿sí? Uno de los procesos juveniles se llama Crearte para la Paz.
One of the youth processes
is called Create Art for Peace.
Y en ese proceso aprendemos sobre la historia de Colombia.
And in that process, we learn about the history of Colombia
A través del arte,
through art.
y por medio del arte también recreamos el proyecto de vida de los jóvenes.
And also through art, we work with youth to help them build life projects
Que cuestiona todas las lógicas de la guerra.
that question all of the logics of war.
También entonces con las mujeres adultas hacemos las escuelas feministas.
As well with adult women, we do feminist schools.
Y en esas escuelas estudiamos a mujeres luchadoras de América Latina.
And in those schools, we learn about women who have been fighters in Latin American history.
Aprendemos sobre la descolonización y el antirracismo.
We learn about decolonization and anti-racism.
Aprendemos sobre estructuras políticas de Colombia.
We learn about political structures of Colombia.
Y también creamos juntas pedagogías feministas para replicar ese conocimiento en diferentes lugares.
We also create feminist pedagogies to duplicate or to kind of share that knowledge in different locations.
¿Listo? Como les había dicho, en Colombia ha vivido una guerra muy larga.
And so, as I told you, Colombia has lived a very long war.
Sí, nosotros somos alrededor de 48 millones de personas,
We are about 48 million people,
de los cuales 24 millones son hombres que son forzados a prestar el servicio militar.
of which 24 million are men who are required to give military service.
¿Sí? Esto da evidencia del contexto de militarización.
So this gives you a sense of the context of militarization.
Y también nos da luces a nosotras para entender algo que una feminista francesa dice,
And so this also gives us some way of understanding something that a French feminist has said.
y ella dice, las sociedades neoliberales de todo el mundo
And what she says is that neoliberal societies throughout the world
se sostienen por una división sexual del trabajo.
are sustained by a sexual division of labor.
Sí, esta división dice hombres en armas, mujeres en servicio.
And this division of labor says that men take up arms and women provide services.
Sí, los hombres están, digamos, destinados a hacer el control de los territorios y el uso de las armas.
Men are destined to control territories and take up arms.
Y las mujeres a estar en todo lo que significa el cuidado y la prestación de servicios sexuales.
Women are dedicated to care, services that involve providing some kind of care, but also sexual services.
¿Sí? Nosotras cuando analizamos a Medellín,
So when we analyze the context in Medellin,
encontramos que las mafias narcoparamilitares
we find that the narco-paramilitary mafias
tienen un control del comercio sexual en la ciudad.
they have control over commercial sex in the city,
Donde hay prácticas de explotación sexual.
where there are practices of sexual exploitation.
Este comercio sexual está dirigido a hombres ricos generalmente de Europa y de Estados Unidos.
This commercial sex is primarily focused on or directed towards men who come from Europe as well as men who come from the United States.
Y las niñas y jóvenes las buscan en los barrios populares.
And the girls and young people or young women, they try to get them, or they mainly get them from the popular neighborhoods
Para atraerlas al comercio de explotación sexual.
in order to bring them to the commercial sex work.
Sí, esto ha tenido muchas consecuencias.
And so this has had many consequences.
Una de ellas es que Los índices de abuso sexual se han incrementado en Colombia y en Medellín.
And so what's happened is that the statistics on sexual abuse and sexual violence have increased.
Encontrando cifras, por ejemplo, para este año,
So looking at the statistics, for example, for this year,
hasta marzo se presentaron 3.674 casos de abuso sexual.
so up until March of this year, there were 3,674 cases of sexual abuse.
513 ocurrieron en Antioquia.
513 of those cases occurred in Antioquia.
Durante el año pasado, en Antioquia se encontraron 523 casos.
And in all of last year in Antioquia, there were 523 cases reported.
Sí, habla del incremento de la violencia sexual hacia las niñas y las jóvenes.
And so that speaks to
The increase in sexual exploitation towards girls and young people.
También han aumentado los feminicidios.
Feminicides have increased as well.
Los feminicidios son los asesinatos de mujeres por el hecho de ser mujeres.
Feminicides are the killing of women because they are women.
Eso significa, hemos encontrado casos de mujeres que deciden terminar una relación con un hombre en armas.
So we've found cases where women have wanted to end a relationship or have ended a relationship with a man who has taken up arms.
Y al no querer que la relación termine, pues termina asesinándola.
And this man, because he didn't want the relationship to end, ends up killing the woman.
Sucede por el hecho de ser mujeres porque no pasaría lo mismo en el caso contrario.
So it's a feminicide because in this instance the woman was killed, but if the gender roles had been reversed, the same thing would not have happened.
También lo hemos relacionado con las lógicas del neoliberalismo.
We've also connected this with the logic of neoliberalism.
Y hemos encontrado que cuando una corporación o empresa quiere llegar a un territorio para tomarlo,
We've also found that when a business or a multinational wants to arrive into a territory and they want to take it over,
utiliza muchas formas, pero si no le funciona alguna, va al feminicidio.
and so they may use many ways to try to take over the territory, but if none of those work, they will go towards feminicides.
Entonces los feminicidios están íntimamente ligados con las lógicas militaristas,
And so feminicides are very much linked to the logic of militarization,
que en el caso de Medellín están relacionadas con todas las mafias narcoparamilitares.
which in the case of Medellin is very much connected to all of the narco-paramilitary mafias.
Nosotras hemos hablado de la necesidad del fin de la guerra.
So we've talked about the need for the end of the war,
No solo por los feminicidios, sino también por las consecuencias que ha tenido para el pueblo colombiano.
not just for the feminicides, but also for the consequences that the war has had for the Colombian people.
Como ya les había dicho, la guerra en Colombia ha durado 60 años.
So as I've already said, the war in Colombia has lasted for over 60 years.
Estados Unidos tiene un papel importante en esta guerra porque también ha financiado militarmente al ejército y la policía colombiana.
The United States has had a very important role in this war because it has financed the Colombian military as well as the Colombian police.
También ha entrenado en la que conocemos las escuelas de las Américas.
They've also trained people at the School of the Americas,
A generales del ejército y a grupos paramilitares para combatir a las guerrillas.
They've trained generals in the military as well as paramilitary groups in order to combat the guerrillas.
Esto da cuenta, digamos, también de la duración de toda esta guerra y también por qué se ha mantenido durante tanto tiempo.
So this gives you a sense of the duration of the war and why it has been sustained for so long.
Y también para que podamos entender la magnitud de esta guerra, les voy a dar una cifra.
And so also so that we can understand the magnitude of this war, I'm going to give you a statistic.
Para 1965, el 82% de la tierra en Colombia pertenecía al 12% de personas.
In the year 1965, 12% of the, 82% of the land belonged to 12% of the landowners.
Grandes terratenientes mandaban mercenarios para que se tomaran las tierras.
Large landowners sent mercenaries in order to take over land.
Y esto produjo que muchas personas que vivían en el campo tuvieran que venirse forzadamente a las ciudades.
And this meant that many of the people who were working in the countryside were forced to come to the cities.
Por eso, y por muchas otras razones, para nosotras es muy importante el escenario del fin de la guerra en Colombia.
For this reason and for other reasons, this is why it's so important for us, the end of the war.
El año pasado se firmó en Bogotá el acuerdo de paz entre la guerrilla de las FARC y el Estado colombiano.
So last year, there was a peace accord that was signed between the Colombian state and the FARC guerrillas.
Solo para aclarar, en Colombia existen varios actores armados.
So just to clarify, in Colombia there are various armed actors.
Uno de ellos es el Estado, otro de ellos son las dos guerrillas y otro de ellos son las mafias.
So one of those is the state, the other is the two guerrilla groups, and the other are the narco paramilitary mafias.
Este acuerdo se firma entre el Estado y una de las guerrillas que se llaman las Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia.
So this peace accord was signed between the Colombian state and one of the guerrilla groups called the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia.
Los diálogos de La Habana tienen una particularidad en la historia de los acuerdos de paz en el mundo.
The Havana peace talks have a particular characteristic that makes them special in the history of peace accords in the world.
Y es porque hablan de la perspectiva de género.
And that's because they talk about a gender approach.
Esto significa, todas las personas en Colombia han vivido la guerra, pero las mujeres y la comunidad LGTBI la han vivido de una manera muy particular.
And so what this means is that everyone in Colombia has suffered through the war, but women and the LGBTI community in particular have suffered the war in a more profound way.
Es por ello que se crea una comisión especial de mujeres y lesbianas para que le hagan seguimiento a los acuerdos.
And it's for them that a commission was created to do follow-up and monitoring of implementation of the agreement with consideration for women and lesbians.
Para garantizar la participación de estas personas en la implementación de los acuerdos.
To guarantee the implementation of these different groups, to guarantee their participation and their ability to benefit from the implementation of the accords.
Sí. El acuerdo tiene 6 puntos.
The peace accord has 6 points.
Uno de ellos se llama la reforma rural.
One of those is rural reform.
Este acuerdo dice todas las personas que han perdido la tierra por la guerra en Colombia pueden volver a tenerla.
And this agreement says that everyone who lost land because of the war would be able to regain their land.
Y el Estado está obligado a darle incentivo económico al campesinado para que pueda trabajar la tierra.
And the state is obligated to give an economic incentive to the peasant farmers so that they would be able to work the land.
El segundo acuerdo habla de la participación política.
The second agreement talks about political participation.
Y esto dice, vamos a cambiar las reglas del juego electoral para que los movimientos sociales puedan entrar a participar en las elecciones.
And this says that we're going to change the rules of the electoral game so that social movements will be able to enter into electoral politics.
Esto es una gran posibilidad para el movimiento de mujeres.
So we see this as a great possibility for the women's movement.
El tercer acuerdo habla sobre el fin del conflicto y dice, todas las personas que dejaron las armas, el Estado debe garantizar.
And so the third agreement says regarding the end of the conflict says that all the people who have put down their arms, the state should guarantee
Que no vuelvan a tomarlas. Y eso significa la participación política.
So the state should guarantee that they don't, again, pick up their arms. And so what this means is there needs to be guarantees for political participation.
Educación, empleo, trabajo.
Education, work,
Educación, empleo. Repetí. Ya estoy tostada.
She repeated herself.
Y además que el Estado se debe garantizar a no perseguir ni asesinar al movimiento social.
Additionally, the state needs to guarantee that it will not persecute nor kill members of the social movement.
Es decir, dejar toda la doctrina contrainsurgente que aprendieron en la Escuela de las Américas.
And what that means is for them to leave behind all of that counterinsurgency doctrine that they learned at the School of the Americas.
La otra parte del acuerdo habla de solución al problema de las drogas.
The other agreement in the accord talks about a solution to the problem of drugs.
Y ese acuerdo dice que es necesario perseguir a todas las estructuras mafiosas narcoparamilitares.
And that agreement says that it's necessary to go after all of the narco-paramilitary structures.
Que son las que han sostenido el negocio del narcotráfico y otros negocios como la explotación sexual de niñas y jóvenes.
And they are the ones who have maintained the business of narcotics trafficking, and they've also been involved in sexual exploitation of girls and youth.
El otro acuerdo habla sobre las víctimas del conflicto.
The other agreement talks about victims of the conflict.
Este dice, necesitamos saber cuáles son los máximos responsables de esta guerra.
And this says that we need to know who are the ones who are the most responsible for this war.
También necesitamos saber cómo se va a acceder a la justicia y cómo se va a reparar a las víctimas.
And we also need to know how we're going to access justice and how there will be reparations for the victims.
El último punto del acuerdo habla sobre la implementación y verificación.
The final point in the accord talks about implementation and verification.
Y este habla de crear toda una estructura en el Estado para que implemente todos los acuerdos.
And this talks about creating a whole infrastructure in the state so that all of the points of the accord are implemented.
Bueno, hace un año el Estado colombiano le pregunta al pueblo colombiano
So about a year ago, the Colombian state asked the Colombian people
si quería darle fin a la guerra
if they wanted to end the war.
y por un pequeño margen gana la continuidad de la guerra.
And by a small margin, the pro-war vote won.
Esta decisión estuvo influida por grandes grupos de derecha, conservadores pro guerra,
This decision was largely influenced by big groups of conservative, pro-war people
que utilizaron la perspectiva de género para confundir a las personas.
and they used the gender approach in order to confuse people.
Decían que en los colegios y en las escuelas se le iba a enseñar a las niñas y a los niños a ser gays y lesbianas.
They said in the grade schools and in the high schools that they were going to show boys and girls how to be gay and lesbian.
Decían que si se les devolvía la tierra a los campesinos y campesinas, nos íbamos a convertir en una dictadura castrochavista.
They said that if land was returned to the peasant farmers, that we would become a Castro-Chavista dictatorship.
Y además decían que las mujeres iban a dejar todas sus tareas, no tareas, iban a dejar todas las labores de cuidado para dedicarse a hacer otras cosas.
They also said that women were going to leave all of their care work and all of their housework in order to go and do other things.
Esto tuvo implicaciones gravísimas en la implementación del acuerdo,
And this had serious implications in the implementation of the accord,
porque el acuerdo, al no tener legitimidad popular, entonces tiene que ser votado en el Congreso, en la Asamblea y en las Cortes.
and since this agreement did not have popular legitimacy, then it had to be voted on in the Congress, in the Senate, and in the Colombian courts.
Sin embargo, el acuerdo sigue en pie y la semana pasada volvió a quedar más protegido.
However, the peace accords continue to be moved forward and they continue to be implemented. And last week, there was a decision by the Colombian Supreme Court that protected the accords.
Y nosotras seguimos en la lucha de que lo que esté allí implementado, de lo que esté allí acordado sea implementado.
And so we continue to be in the struggle that what has been agreed upon in the peace agreement continues to be implemented.
Hemos dicho, nos queremos vivas, no solo para no ser asesinadas,
We've said that we want to live not just to avoid being killed,
sino para también hacer los cambios que necesitamos como país, y por eso hablamos de la necesidad de la apertura democrática.
but also in order to make the changes that we need as a country, and that's why we talk about a democratic opening.
¿Tienen preguntas?
Any questions?
¿Puedes explicar más sobre los proyectos de vida de los jóvenes?
So that everybody can hear.
¿Puedes explicar más sobre los proyectos de vida de los jóvenes? porque no entiendo exactamente lo que son.
You want to say it in English so everybody
Oh,
hears it?
can you explain what like the life projects of like young adults are?
Right. ¿Listas?
Sí. Bueno, un proyecto de vida es una proyección de futuro.
So, a life project is how you project yourself in the future.
Y esa proyección del futuro está influenciada por la sociedad en que vivimos.
And how that projection of self into the future is influenced by the society in which we live.
Entonces, como les comenté, si es una sociedad militarista y altamente patriarcal,
And so, as I was saying, if we are a militaristic and patriarchal society,
los proyectos de vida, ¿cierto? Ateniéndose a las lógicas, serían bien militaristas y bien patriarcales.
the life projects the life projects would be given the logic of the surroundings or the environment would then be militaristic and in pro-war.
Por eso hablamos de la necesidad de cambiar los proyectos de vida.
And so then that's why we talk about the need to change life projects.
Que no es nada más a desobedecer a lo que nos nombra como normal, pero que nos oprime.
And it's nothing more than disobeying what's considered normal, but what oppresses us.
¿Alguien más?
Anyone else?
Thank you for your talk. So you mentioned working with different social movements in the areas that you're working in. And I was wondering if there were any social movements that you were like less willing or didn't really enjoy working with, or if there's like open hostility or any form of or uncooperation.
Claro, las tensiones las encontramos en todas partes. Me imagino que ustedes también encuentran tensiones entre compañeros.
Clear, yeah. So yes, tensions you can find everywhere. I mean, I imagine that here you guys have tensions between friends and like-minded people.
Pero te puedo nombrar que una de las tensiones que son un gran obstáculo es la continuidad del pensamiento patriarcal.
But one of the tensions that I can tell you that is perhaps the greatest obstacle is the continuation of patriarchal thinking.
Que también se evidencia en la minimización de la condición de vida de las mujeres, de su pensamiento, de su hacer.
Which I think manifests itself in the minimization of the women's thinking, of their work.
De su hacer. Entonces ese ha sido uno como de los grandes obstáculos.
And so that's been one of the biggest obstacles.
Does that answer your question? Yeah.
Les quería mostrar, nosotras en este momento estamos haciendo una campaña para prevenir la violencia sexual hacia las niñas y las jóvenes.
Right now we're working on a campaign of prevention of sexual violence towards girls and youth.
Que se llama perder el miedo, sacar la voz, unir las fuerzas.
And it's called Lose Fear, Raise Your Voice, and Unite Our Strengths.
Estamos vendiendo algunas cosas por si quieren contribuir a la campaña y de paso les voy a mostrar un video que hicimos hace poco.
We're selling some things in order to raise funds for the campaign, but I'd also like to show you a video that we created for the campaign.
Donde anunciamos la necesidad de estar vivas, pero también la necesidad de vivir en otro mundo.
Where we talk about the need to live, but also to live in another world.
¿Quieren ver el video?
Do you want to see the video? Okay. Do you guys have any more questions? Okay, we got
Directly behind you and then one over there.
Thank you. My name is Juan Carlos Valencia. I'm from Medellin too. My dissertation is violence in the Colombian literature. And currently I'm serving in the United States Army. I also serve in the Marine Corps. I've been around for a while, but I'm Colombian, born and raised in Medellin. Now, do you mind explaining to us or clarifying a little bit about neoliberalism and how that has contributed to female violence or control over the females? Because I'm reading the definition of neoliberalism and I cannot put the two together. If you could do that for me. And my last comment will be, Colombia is a beautiful country. Very nice people, very welcoming, hospitable. And yeah, we went through some periods, some crisis and violence and stuff like that, but it is changing. So here we're looking at this picture, we're looking at this presentation, how bad, how horrible, how violent Colombia is, and how unhospitable it is towards female. And yet, part of it is true, but there's also a good side to Colombia. It's a great country, I could tell you that. So, like I tell my students, hey, every single thing you hear, go and do your own research, figure out what's going on, read a little bit more, educate yourself, right? So, anyway, that's it.
¿Lo puedes decir en español? ¿Cómo puedes hablar con ella directamente?
Sí, bueno, soy profesor de español acá en TRUM y nos podría explicar un poquito la idea del neoliberalismo y cómo ha contribuido a la represión contra las mujeres, porque no estoy haciendo bien la conexión entre esos dos. Y lo otro que mencioné es que Colombia es un país muy bonito, la gente es muy hospitalaria y que hemos vivido unos tiempos de guerra y de conflicto y mucha violencia, pero las cosas están cambiando en Colombia y han mejorado mucho. Y también finalmente les dije a mis estudiantes, porque hay varios de mis estudiantes acá, de que hagan su propia investigación y lleguen a sus propias conclusiones de lo que está ocurriendo y de lo que ha pasado en Colombia. Porque eso es lo que digo yo en la clase mía, lo que yo les digo acá, cuestionenlo. Es parte del proceso educativo. Claro. Cuestionen todo lo que escuchan, cuestionen lo que yo les digo, cuestionen esa versión, porque es una versión que les estamos dando. Y eso es todo.
Bueno, el neoliberalismo es un sistema también.
So neoliberalism is a system as well.
Que habla de que todo lo que se puede comprar se puede vender, ¿sí? Entre esos los recursos humanos, naturales, todo lo que pueda generar dinero.
And what it says is that everything that can be bought can also be sold. All human resources, or all natural resources. Everything that can generate money, cash.
Porque quien, digamos que pone las reglas de la vida, ahora es el mercado, ¿sí? Pues no las políticas o los gobiernos, ¿cierto? Casi que estamos a merced de lo que el mercado necesite.
Because what puts the rules that govern our lives is the market. Basically, we're at the mercy of what the market dictates.
¿Sí? Entonces, el neoliberalismo necesita muchas cosas, entre ellas tomar territorios, ¿sí? Hacerse dueño de territorios.
So neoliberalism needs many things, and amongst them is taking over territory.
¿Sí? Y enfrentarse por medio de la violencia o de la guerra con cualquier tipo de resistencia que haya en ese territorio para tomárselo.
And confronting through various means, either through war or through violence, whatever resistance is encountered in that territory.
¿Sí? Nosotras hablamos de la violencia neoliberal feminicida, ¿sí? Porque el neoliberalismo ha cometido feminicidios.
And so we talk about the neoliberal feminicidal violence, because neoliberalism has committed violence and feminicides.
Para hacerse dueña de los territorios, digamos, a cualquier consecuencia, no importa la consecuencia.
To control territories no matter the consequence.
¿Sí? Witness for Peace en este momento está realizando una campaña para encontrar los responsables del asesinato de Berta Cáceres. No sé si conocen la historia.
Witness for Peace is right now engaged in a campaign to basically to end military aid to Honduras in memory of the killing of the Honduran indigenous activist Berta Cáceres.
Berta Cáceres era una mujer protectora que cuidaba un río a nombre de una asociación indígena.
Berta Cáceres was an indigenous activist who protected a river.
Una multinacional, ¿sí? No sabemos directamente quién fue, ¿cierto? No lo podemos decir abiertamente, pero una multinacional ordenó su asesinato, su feminicidio.
Ordenó.
A multinational, we can't say exactly who. Right now, her killing is actually still being investigated. But we can't say who killed her exactly, but a multinational had her killed.
Para poder hacer lo que quería en el río y en ese territorio.
In order to be able to do what they wanted in that river and in that territory.
Eso es una evidencia de la violencia neoliberal feminicida.
And that's an example, a famous example of neoliberal feminicidal violence.
Que por medio del asesinato de Berta pensaban que iban a lograr la fragmentación de esa lucha.
And through the killing of Berta Cáceres, they thought they would achieve the fragmentation of that struggle.
Y pues la idea es que no sea así, pero es como esa estructura, ¿sí? En Medellín, en Latinoamérica, en el mundo, hay muchas Bertas.
And so the idea was like that. And in Medellín, in Latin America, and in the whole world, there are many Bertas.
Y la idea de nombrarlo no es para seguir victimizándonos,
And the idea of naming it is not to keep victimizing ourselves,
sino para nombrar que lo reconocemos y que vamos a luchar porque eso no siga siendo así.
but so that we recognize it and fight so that does not continue to be that way.
¿Sí? Y con relación a lo de Colombia, yo también creo que tenemos un hermoso país.
And with relation to Colombia, I also believe that we have a beautiful country.
Y por eso mismo tenemos que ayudar a transformar esas cosas horrorosas que están pasando y que no pueden ser el relato de lo que somos.
Which is also why I believe that we need to transform these horrendous things so that's not the story of what we are.
¿Alguien más?
Anyone else? Thank you.
First off, thank you for coming to speak. And I know you discussed talking about ending aid to Honduras and such, but in terms of Latin America as a whole, are there any nations that you look at that Colombia should shape towards culturally to end this militarization violence, or any nations that Colombia is compared to in terms of this that you kind of relate off of and observe in your plight to stop militarization and these femicides and such?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last piece because I was trying to...
If there's any other nations that you compared to Colombia in terms of the struggle in your fight to stop the militarization of your nation?
Hay otros países en Colombia que se puede, no, otros países en Latinoamérica que se pueden comparar a Colombia en su lucha para terminar con la militarización en Colombia.
Seguro sí. Hay muchos países que están combatiendo la militarización.
I'm certain that many countries are combating militarization.
no te podría decir si es lo mismo, porque sabes que se puede vivir el mismo fenómeno de muchas maneras.
I can't tell you if it's the same because you know that you can live the same phenomenon in many different ways.
Entonces yo te podría hablar más claramente, o no tanto, pero sí, te podría hablar de la experiencia, es de Medellín, ¿cierto?
And so what I can talk to you about most clearly is the experience of Medellin.
Ustedes pueden hablar,
Yeah, yeah. You were
Okay. I just wanted to say that I can just tell you from my work, and I'm certain that Liz could say something about it too. I think she. But anyways, I think that I can tell you that for sure that there are women's movements and women's struggles against militarization throughout Latin America, in different parts of Latin America, in Mexico. ¿Ustedes trabajan con una indígena de Guatemala? No? They work with an indigenous activist from Guatemala. And there are many women's groups and many groups that are working against the harmful impacts of militarism and patriarchy, which is a problem in different parts of Latin America because there's high levels of statistics and high levels of violence in different parts of Latin America. So I think if you're a women's movement, you're in the women's movement in whatever part of Latin America, you're dealing with the impacts and the manifestation of patriarchy and violence, whatever form that takes in that society. Any other questions?
Gracias por venir, por invitarnos y buenas noches.
Thank you for coming and for inviting us. And we were going to give the final word to our host.
I'll just wrap up here. I did want to mention again, we do have a bunch of policy asks. Carol did mention the Berta Cáceres Act, which currently has 67 representatives co-sponsoring the act. And the act, you can find more information on this action sheet. There's also a resolution that was introduced in the House by Representative Ellison from Minnesota to draw attention to labor injustices that are happening in Colombia, currently with the flour-producing countries. So you can find more information on the back here about action items and also delegations coming up. So I'll hand it over to Mark now.
Thanks, Liz. Yeah, and I'd just like to underscore again that if you want to travel to Latin America, Witness for Peace is an excellent organization. I'm working with Liz to take a group of students to Cuba over the spring break in March. So if any of you would like to go to Cuba, so keep your eyes open for that. And we have, I think we have 2 more global issues colloquia coming up in November. We'll send out news about those shortly. And thanks for coming.